Yeah, this will be a thing that I do nightly called the NBA Roundup. Um, just if I don't do any live games or something like that, I just want to put out a video every day of this playoffs. So I have notes on each game. I watched a good amount of each game. I went the game that I didn't watch any of. I didn't put any notes in for. So just giving notes and a roundup for everything that happened today, my observations and things that I see. Want to start off with the most recent game, the Clippers versus Mavs. Things that I noticed in that game was the guard play for the Clippers, which is awful, horrendous. Other than Lou Williams, of course, but Reggie Jackson, Shamit, um, yeah, even Paul George, they were all terrible in this game. Didn't play any good defense. They don't really control the game at all, and it's like if they're out there, it's like no point. I honestly think they should just start Lou Williams and try to limit Reggie Jackson to like maybe 15 to 10 minutes a game. But like when Pat Bev comes back, which his just his presence was definitely missed in his game. We don't need to see any more Reggie Jackson. It's just not gonna happen for this team. Um, he's probably done as like a higher in like a good team rotation player. Like he could definitely stay around the league, but he just brings you nothing on offense. Like he can't shoot anymore. He's not quick enough to go past anybody. Defense is terrible. Like he's just pointless. And Trey Burke and Seth Curry just cooks him. They were cooking him anytime they see him. The bigs for the Clippers, minus Zubac, were terrible. Jermichael Green, awful. Harold wasn't good. He scored a couple points, but he wasn't good. He was getting cooked, and he just couldn't deal with the size and the size of the Mavs bigs. I didn't really like the games from them. Clippers need to play harder. That's just that's gonna always be a thing for them. Like it seemed like they took a step like a foot off the gas in this game. There is a big coaching discrepancy. I think the Mavs have like I know Doc Rivers won a ring and everything, but I don't think he can hold a candle to Rick Carlisle as a coach, and especially with rotations and everything, he's getting out coached in this series so far. Um, if he didn't have the better players, like it would probably be 2-0 Mavs. Shooting, there's a little bit of shooting luck in this game. The Mavs just couldn't miss at certain points of the game. So that's just something to look forward to, just to see that swing. Again, Paul George needs to play better. He wasn't good. But on a side note, Kawhi Leonard did look like he was phenomenal offensively, like able to do everything. I would like to see him like try to take control of the game a little bit more, and actually control the ball a little bit more, especially with no Pat Bev. Porzingis was good. Porzingis has been really good for about the last like his last like 30 games. Like he seems to have taken another step. And one thing that I've seen from him is like aggressively posting up mismatches, and he usually never does that. But like he looked good doing that, and if that's something that could definitely unlock his game as well. And then the last thing I have for this one is the Clippers can't lose the Boban minutes. So when Boban was in the game today, he played great. They had nothing for him. They wasn't able to score. If you saw anytime Boban is in the game, you're supposed to be able to score religiously on them, and they couldn't. And that's something that looking forward in the series, which I think I said Clippers in six. Like I wrote it down somewhere. But that's something that you can't have. You cannot lose the minutes that Boban is in. That's up to Hero and Jermichael Green playing better, being able to play him off the court. So next series I have notes on is Denver and versus Utah. Um, Gobert was amazing again. He was amazing last game too. He kind of got overshadowed because of how good Jokic was, but he defensively he just disrupts so much stuff, and offensively he's gotten so much better since the beginning of his career. I think he's even a little bit better than what Tyson Chandler was as that role man, but like he can actually do a little bit more than Tyson Chandler could. So like think of Tyson Chandler, but like better. I think Gobert is actually better on offense and defense. So he's a really, really, really talented player, and I think he's one of those underrated, those players that goes underrated across the league, just because it's not flashy and everything. Utah came in with more ball movement this game. It like Mitchell was able to control the game without actually having the ball the whole game, and that was a good thing because it allowed other players to get involved and everything. Um, Eagles pick and rolls, like it's weirdly like unstoppable. Like he's like really crafty. He reminds you of like those old basketball players that you may see at the YMCA or something like that. And every time they run a pick and roll, it's like, damn, he scored again. He scored again. It's like they ain't beat you with athleticism, but they beat you with like angles and like the shiftiness and speed up and slow down and everything. So he has a good control over the game. Um, with Denver, I don't know what they're doing with this Millsap Porter Jr. playing them together. They need to pick one, start one, and go with more guard play because their offense isn't good with them, man, and the defense isn't that good with them, man. Like Porter Jr., honestly, I think he needs to be coming off the bench. I know they want him for that spark and everything, but he's just too like he doesn't bring any force on the defensive end at all. So like that's kind of hurting him. Like he doesn't have like he blocks a shot every now and then, but like the rebounding, he's soft. He can't like stay with players out on the perimeter. So I would like to see either them make a decision to go either all offense or start Millsap and start a different guard. Start Millsap, Craig, and try to put another maybe Monte Morris and Dan Murray as a starting lineup to try to just like even it out. So you're not, and then just use Porter off the bench and let him just go crazy on the against the other bench. I think he's taken away from that flow as well. Um, they badly need Barton and Gary Harris back. Gary Harris will bring a lot of stability to a starting lineup, and Will Barton will actually bring some scoring. Like I know it's crazy, but they kind of need that extra scoring punch. Yeah, you seen it today. Like they just didn't. Like if it wasn't Jokic or Murray creating, they just didn't have. Like Porter is able to get his points, but he doesn't create on offense. He's more of a play finisher right now. So they need more of a creator. And Will Barton is that, especially if they can put him off the bench. This Mason Plumlee is just like he's getting close to not being an NBA player anymore. Like he doesn't really do anything like good. Like he's not even catching alley oops and things like that anymore. So like it's almost pointless to play him, especially not with other bigs. Um, Utah, I would like to see more Niang. I think they should actually start Niang over the Howard dude that they're playing. Um, he's another one of these crafty guys that just know how to play basketball, and he's been in bigger situations. So I actually want to see him start. The backup center for Utah, Bradley, he's not terrible at all. Like I remember coming out of college, a lot of people were hard on that pick, but he actually kind of like a Gobert light. Like he could just do a lot of different things. Yeah, and Wyatt, like just Howard, I don't know what's going on with that. And then lastly for this game, a personal beef of mine is Jordan Clarkson because he was so terrible last year on the Cavs, but he looked so phenomenal in Utah. Like, what's the difference? Like, he looked incredible in this game, and he's been that way ever since he got to Utah. So, what's the difference between him on the Cavs last year with a team that's going to the finals and him on his Utah team, which probably won't go to the finals, but like he just played like a totally different level. Maybe that should just tell everybody something about playing on certain players' teams. And then lastly, the Celtics and 76ers game. Yeah, Tatum is just he's continuing to take that next step. I think he will probably be a top 10 player next year. Like that's how much, and in the MVP conversation, that's how good he's playing and how much he's improved. You got Jaylen Brown. He's also underrated. Like he's one of the top two-way players in the league. Like he can do a lot of different things, and his ball handling, his finishing at the rim, and his 3-point shooting is much better than like I ever thought. And I was one of these people that was like high on him coming out of college, but I never thought he'd be this good. For Philly, Ben Simmons slander, like everybody that's ever slandered Ben Simmons, I need y'all to like come apologize to him because this team looks completely lost without him. Nobody able to get the ball, like run an offense for them. They missing the top player that they had to guard Tatum, and it's showing. Even though they have other good defenders, it's Ben Simmons that was that good of a defender that he could actually like impede the progress of Tatum. Like Thibault is good, but better off ball. Richardson is too little. Tobias is too slow. So like they really have nobody for Tatum or Brown, but like really nobody for Tatum. Um, Embiid is not a leader, so like all these people that want the 76ers to turn the team over to Embiid, that's never gonna work. Like it's pointless. He needs that other guy that's gonna be a strong force, and you can't play full games to him. Like he's dominant in spots, but he doesn't have the conditioning, he doesn't have the temperament, and he just not like he has to be like riled up in order to like affect the game in that way. Um, Brett Brown is getting outcoached in another series. Like, when is this man going to actually get treated like the bad coach that he is? Um, he's been propped up by the players on the team and not him actually making adjustments or doing anything to help. And they brought back Horford way too early. This whole Horford thing has been just a travesty. Him and Tobias Harris. Those are turning out to be two of the worst contracts signed. If they would have just instead of giving Tobias or Al Horford that money, just gave it to Jimmy Butler and let those two guys go away, even though they traded for Tobias Harris, which was an awful trade, by the way. They'll be in a much better predicament right now. Um, yeah, and the 76ers just got a lot of issues right now. They'll have a lot of questions going into this off season, and I just want to see how. I think the series is pretty much over. I think it's most likely going to be a 5-game series, but I want to see what they do in that off season. It's a very important off season for them. But that's pretty much all I got. I didn't really watch that again. I didn't really watch the first game, the Nets and Raptors game. I just seen it slightly, and I thought Levert has some good passing. Van Fleet is very hard to stay in front of, but that's all the thoughts I had. Oh, and OG Anunoby looked really good again. So like that's just all I had on that game, man. This is my little daily double, like just basically an NBA round game. If I don't do any lives, I'll do one of these. Just to let you know my thoughts and everything. And to recap, the Mavs beat the Clippers, so that series is 1-1. Utah beat Denver. That series is also 1-1. Raptors beat the Nets, so that series is 2-0. And the Celtics beat the 76ers, and that series is 2-0 as well. So we got some good series, some good games coming on tomorrow. I look forward to seeing what the Lakers do. I think the Lakers probably going to blow Portland out tomorrow, but we'll see. I'll be back tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share this video. I'm out.